Governor Keating,
Sir.
the adults in here, obviously, that we lived in Oklahoma most of our lives, and on April 19th, 95, it's one of those things like September 11th. We all know where we were that day. I can take you to my 6th grade classroom and show you the chair that I was sitting in that day. So my
He
question.
hurt my feelings when he said he was in the 6th grade when
Yeah.
I was the governor during the Oklahoma City
Right,
Rally, and I said, "Do you have a wheelchair when I come in?"
Well, it's one of those things, and it's something I always admired about you is how you handled that. And so we all know where we were and what that felt like that day, and it was one of those kind of transformational moments in our state's history. Where were you that particular day when you found out what had happened, and kind of how did those first few moments, because you'd only been on the job for about 3 months at that point.
Well, I had gone to the mayor's prayer breakfast. Ron Newark was mayor that morning for breakfast. The Restaurant Association downtown had its convention going. So when the blast occurred at 9 in the morning on April 19th, I was in my office at the Capitol, and it was such a titanic blast that the building just went the windows. And I thought maybe a plane had exploded at Tinker Air Force Base because it just moved, the windows. So I turned on the television. The first report was it was the federal courthouse that had a gas explosion. And I looked at it, and I said, no, that's the federal office building. It's filled with people. And because it had been blasted in half, and I said, that's no gas explosion. Somebody blew it up. Because the whole front half of the building was gone. And then later, of course, we pulled it down at the end of the following week. But, I knew, this is, I don't mean to tell this story because one piece of it is pretty tragic. Well, both pieces are, but the next morning I got up with my wife. We went down to the bomb site, and they had big searchlights on the side of the building. And everybody, there were a lot of firefighters and everything working around. So I'm standing there, and I saw this firefighter coming up the street. And he walked up the street, and he had his jacket over his shoulder, and he was not an Oklahoma City firefighter, I could tell that. He was one of the FEMA Urban Search and Rescue guys. So I stepped out in the street, and I said, thank you for being here. And he said, who are you? And I said, I'm the governor of Oklahoma. Most people would say, hey, nice to meet you, and keep going, but he didn't. He stopped, and he was a complete shattered wreck. And he took his finger and he stuck it in my chest, and he said, well, then you find out who did this, because the only thing I pulled from that rubble was a child's finger and an American flag, and walking up the street. I mean, that's the gospel. And so I knew that, unlike 9/11, where everybody was black powder, that fire burned everybody up except the people who jumped off the buildings. But in Oklahoma City, everybody was there. The people who were killed were there. And it was just a shattering, horrible moment for these young rescue workers, firefighters, and the like, because they'd never, they look at this, all these children, bodies of children. So I knew Mike's job, and